Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Ultimate Speedrunning Championship. I am Big Red.
And I am Little Red. And today we have Ratchet Deadlocked by the Sag Bean and Marathon Man. I thought the other word. Sorry. No.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the Sag Bean. If we could transfer over to their cool title card submission here.
Absolutely. I love reading. All right, this is the Sag Bean, the best American speedrunner of Ratchet Deadlocked and top 3 in New Game Plus no LC. Famously known for wearing a Minecraft Steve mask at USC 2023. That is actually a fact.
And they are also notable for doing speedruns of various PlayStation games and franchises, including Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, and God of War. Who knows what other amazing games they'll speedrun in the future. I know I'm looking forward to that future, but right now, imminently, we are going to see some Ratchet Deadlocked from one of the very best to ever do it. Sag, how are you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling pumped up. I'm feeling really pumped up. Okay, so
that's what I like to hear. What about you, Marathon Man?
Feeling great.
Okay,
All right, so just to let everybody know real fast, we had a donation incentive for everyone to pick a language for Ratchet. Unfortunately, that didn't look like we have any donations, but we still wanted to get chat involved. So we had everybody pick a number between 1 and 5. Everyone picked 3, so that is Spanish. We are getting Spanish Ratchet today.
Espanol.
Espanol.
And nobody picked. We didn't get Italian.
No one picked Italian.
I wish it was Italian.
No one picked Italian.
I love Italian.
I love
I love Spanish, but I love Italian.
So
Big fan.
Numbers 1 through 5 in order were English, French, Spanish, German, and Italian. So yeah. So shout out to that one person that picked number 1 and wanted English. Okay.
Shout out.
Okay, honestly.
All right, so time starts whenever you select, right?
Yeah. So I'll explain like 1 or 2 things. For one, I'm gonna turn on the voice dialogue so y'all can hear the epic voices. I usually have it off. I'll do it once the run starts. I'll explain New Game Plus no LC what that means later on, because we'll have a bit of downtime. This is a very fast-paced game. Let's see. As they said, I wore a Minecraft Steve mask last year. I'm not doing that this year because I like to not sound like I'm in a cardboard box. So yeah. I'll count you guys. So my countdown will be 3, 2, 1, and then I will say go, and then you guys will start your timer. Okay? So ready?
All right, sounds good.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. So I'm gonna start I'm gonna start this first part. So this is Ratchet. This. Oh crap. We have to change this every time. There you go. You guys will get to hear the funny voice lines in Spanish. So the series revolves around the concept of preserving momentum through the use of the charge boots. And this game is no different in that regard. You're already seeing that I'm just kind of zooming through the levels. And because this is a New Game Plus challenge mode, we'll have all the weapons and items that we want. So it's basically a speedrun of getting from point A to point B. So yeah, that is your little tutorial right there, those 2 rooms, and we're kind of off to the races. So this first level, the advanced qualifier, we're introduced to 2 combat bots, Merc and Green. They're pretty cool. They run on a 10-second cycle where they'll warp to you every 10 seconds if you're too far away. So there's a few times throughout the run where we gotta be quick to make sure that we can hit the intended cycle. So this first level is a perfect demonstration of that. I'm gonna do some cool movement right here, and if it all works out well, I'm gonna warp to the end of the level. I missed the cycle, but it's okay, it only loses a few seconds. So yeah. Oh yeah, if you guys have any questions about the run, you can go ahead and ask, because I have the chat open on my phone. So yeah, that's Dread Zone Station. And now next up is Catacrom 4. So I'll let the gameplay speak for itself on this very first mission, because this first mission is just a nice display of movement. So pull out both of my weapons. Nice. Quick little 10-second mission, and the movement is very slick right there. So
we were not joking when we said the game.
Yeah, very fast. So this next mission, I'm gonna be pulling off a frame perfect trick called Landstalker skip. So I'm forced into this vehicle right here, but if I press triangle at the right time, I will respawn outside of the vehicle. So this can take me a few tries, or I can get it instantly. Come on, I think I'm doing it too early. Okay, if I can't get this, I'll just do the Landstalker mission normally to, you know, not whiff the time. I got it, let's go. Also, the game language does not change anything in the game. You can play in whatever language you want. My PS3 set to Spanish, so I play in Spanish, which you might remember if you were here for last year's run of Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Alright, so Mr. Man, you got anything you want to say?
Happy to be here.
Same. So yeah, a little about myself. I was here for the very first USC event. I ran Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, and I did it with the Steve mask because I wanted to make my run stand out. This year, I like to think that...
Steve mask would like that.
Yeah, it would have gone dummy hard, but this year I like to think that the gameplay on its own will make the run stand out. And again, I didn't want to be in a cardboard box. So...
Plus, it's like, we've already done that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been waiting...
First year was the Minecraft Steve. This year is Leon Kennedy.
Oh yeah, I got this jacket on because it's cold in my room. So yeah, I've been waiting for USC 2 for like a year. I kept telling Shemp and Dylan like, yo, when's like the next USC? And they're like, soon. And I'm just like, oh man. And now that it's finally here, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So this is Sarathos. You're gonna see a relatively new piece of movement tech that was introduced to the run last year. It's called an air swing. I'm not gonna spoil what it looks like. I'm just gonna let you see them. Oh, also you guys can use he, him on me if you want, but yeah, they, them is pretty based, so, you know. And yeah, that's an air swing. If you carry momentum into something that, damages Ratchet, and when I say carry momentum, I don't just mean charge boots, I mean you can walk into, things that damage Ratchet, you know, and then you do, you go into this camera controls menu, you'll just start gliding alongside the air, and it looks really sick. It is one of the coolest pieces of movement tech ever introduced to this entire series. I made a little video where I freestyle on Chronos with this movement. So yeah, this is the 4th mission. So while we're here, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to explain a few things about the run, because yeah, there's a lot happening. Hold on, you guys can also use he, him, I promise. We're all here to have fun. So, a little level design philosophy that's used in the Ratchet and Clank quadrilogy. And fun fact, it's also used in the Spyro trilogy. If you look at a run of Spyro 1 Vortex, you'll actually see this level design philosophy. Is that the end of the level is placed close to the beginning of the level. So a lot of the speed runs, you kind of just skip to the end, like, just like that. And that was actually implemented in the 3rd mission of Sarathos, where you saw me doing those little infinite jumps. Those infinite jumps, by the way, you can, if you go into the camera controls, it resets Ratchet's state, so you can do a hyper strikes infinitely. So those state cancels are useful for not just that, but also these air swings, which you're going to see another one of. Shout out to those Captain Quark robots, I love them, they're so goofy looking.
That's probably the most iconic thing or most notable thing about Deadlocked compared to all the other games.
Yeah, this
is the hyper stacking.
But with your help,
I guess air swings too now, but that's, like we said, a bit more recent.
With your help, we can make air swings the most notable thing. So this is our first boss fight, Shell Shock. You know, I'm not gonna lie, Shell Shock is a little bit scary. He's a big robot. Let's see, maybe we can take him down. All right. Oh, he went down pretty easily. Whew, nothing to be scared of, right, chat? Alright, so we got a little arena battle here. I got all the enemy spawns on lock. So, Usually the arena battles are a little more slower paced if you watch a run of Ratchet 1 and you get to like Pokitaru, Ratchet 2, Magtar Nebula, and some levels in Ratchet 3, you know, it's a lot more tame. The arena levels are a lot more tame, you know, you just kind of sit there, you have a little bit of room to breathe in between enemies. Not in this game though. In this game the enemies are coming every second, so you're always locking in. So right here, we kind of clipped out of bounds. Like, you've seen this area in other missions, but you're not supposed to be there in this mission. So we kind of just abused that. Otherwise, you'd have to, like, use a grind rail, which takes forever. So, again, here's the hyper stack, the little infinite jump. I'm going to use this to scale an elevator. Do some quick little movement here. Clip through a wall to skip several waves of enemies coming in. Yeah, I can't even keep up with everything that I wanted to say because there's just so much going on. So it's been a little, yeah, it's been a little while since I've seriously ran Ratchet and Clank games. So it's kind of hard. It's a bit interesting to get reused to the very fast pace. You know, if I was running something else like a Crash Bandicoot, which I'll get into later on, because I'm gonna shout out the Crash runs that you'll see tomorrow. You know, I feel like I'd actually have more time to like explain everything. There's just so much in this game. This game has a lot of intricate things. Let me let's see. I'm trying to read the chat right now. So exactly one playthrough. Nice, Ella. Yeah, this game's a pretty fun casual game. This is one of my favorite Ratchet and Clank games. Definitely top 3, or top 4, alongside Up Your Arsenal, Going Commando, in the first game. Alright, so this is Showdown with Shellshock. So earlier we had to fight Shellshock again, but this time I think he's going to lock in, you guys. This time I think he's going to lock in. This time I think he's really going to put up a fight. So let's see what happens. I guess he doesn't. I guess he didn't want to.
He's trying his best.
Yeah, that final mission did have a bit of stuff involving the bot cycles, where if I didn't clip through that second wall fast enough, I would have had to wait a little bit, but of course I hit the cycle. So now, if y'all love air swings, y'all might be wondering, what's better than one air swing? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's 2 air swings. So we got a quick little arena match. So, I'll explain load canceling. I was originally planning on having Marathon Man explain it, but I mean, if he still wants to, he can. Do you want
I can explain it, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So, it's kind of another like weird thing. I think this was the first Ratchet game to have a difficulty option.
Correct.
And for whatever reason, when you load the game, it'll ask you to pick a difficulty, but you can just back straight out of the menu. And it can get a little weird, and you can just straight ahead load a different file, and so it'll be like loading your data from one file but playing on the other file, and in doing so, you can basically have one file just with Go Station ready to go, and then just go straight there.
Go Station being the penultimate level of the game, second to last.
Yeah. More on this later.
Yeah, so you essentially, you can make the game about 6 to 7 minutes long. Oh yeah, this is another air swing. So this is the Tower of Power. It's a little platforming challenge, but it takes a little too long, so we kind of just air swing up on that little slope. So this is, we have some a quick round of enemies to kill, and that's right, I am 3rd place on the board. So before this marathon, I actually got bopped by another runner, Scary, and then I wasn't 3rd place anymore. Funny how that works. But I got it back, baby. Currently sitting at a 4108. So this is Char. Marathon Man, would you like to explain why Char's not fun?
Okay, so the most iconic thing about the Ratchet series, besides the ending being at the beginning, is that every snow planet is the worst planet ever. This one in particular might be the worst of the bunch. And I play Rack 1, so that says a lot. There's a lot going on, and so there's I would even go as far as to say a higher than moderately high chance that the game can just crash. And you know, that's not fun.
Okay, so we kind of skipped the point where the game would crash, so we might be fine. Not sure yet, though. It can crash in a few other places. The other reason this level sucks is because, as you saw earlier, on this second bolt crank, there were like 5 landstalkers right there, and a bunch of these turrets ready to shoot at my bots and knock them down. So a lot of runs that make it to this planet will either lose a lot of time or just straight up die here. This bot is going in the incorrect direction, so let's fix that really quick. Come on, I know you're nervous. Trust. Don't worry, guys. The bots are just nervous because, you know, they're on USC. You know, it's their first time, so, you know, I would ask that you guys be a little patient with them. You guys would know what it's like. So, turn that bolt crank.
They're trying their best.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I've done this marathon thing a few times before. You know, I've played for a few marathons. You know, I've played a variety of games. But they've never been on USC before, you know. They don't know what it's like. They don't know the greatness that comes with a marathon like this. So, that bot is getting on the bull crank. Nice, okay. Yeah. So, Shield Link, actually, now that Sly Sonic mentions it, these bots have weapons of their own, but getting them makes some of the air swings a little more difficult because they might kill the enemies. There's also a specific weapon, the Shield Link. As you can see, they're able to turn multiple bolt cranks at the same time, but if you have the Shield Link, they won't be able to do that because they'll want to protect each other. The Shield Link is a weapon that has one bot place a shield around the other. So this is Orxon, so for all the Ratchet 1 fans, I hope you enjoyed this. So this first mission, you have to pick a path, and to pick a path, it's indicated by hacking these little orbs. But you can clip through that wall and have the bots hack both sets of orbs at the same time. So it'll allow the game to think that you finished the mission legitimately when we really haven't. But don't tell the developers that. Oh, the bot's getting stage fright again. So, let's see. Bot's getting stage fright? Go on. Don't be shy. Where's the other one? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so occasionally the bots can get stuck, but it's usually based on like your movement or other determining factors. We don't fully understand how the bots work or like what to do on every single planet in order to get them to do what we want, but we've come really close to figuring out. Like, I understand how they work on most planets, but I still like I've still done my own individual research, like, okay, maybe they do this if I do that, you know, that kind of mentality. So
They just need some encouragement sometimes.
exactly. So I'm gonna turn this final bull crank. So let's see, this next mission is an auto scroller, so is there anything I need to explain? I feel like there's something I wanted to explain. I guess right now is a good time for chat questions, while I help jog my memory, because I am gonna want to explain this next level once the time comes. So I may have missed some existing questions in the chat, so if Marathon Man wants to help me with some questions he might have seen earlier. Are my hydrogen levels today? They're high.
You guys got a moment?
Yeah, go ahead, honestly.
Really quick, just wanted to remind everybody what this is all about. We're raising money for the Able Gamers Foundation, and if you've heard my jargon already, I apologize because I've said a lot of things about it, but the TLDR of it is they're raising money to make gaming accessible to everybody. And what I mean by that is, you or I maybe play games normally, but some people have some struggles, some people have some conditions that impair their ability to game, and Able Gamers looks to bridge that gap and level the playing field. As such, what we're looking to do today is we're trying to raise as much money as humanly possible. So if you are able to, please either share the stream around or donate yourself. We have a bunch of cool incentives that you can put money towards, as well as different polls and raffles that you can enter in. We have a JBL speaker we're giving away. We have an Onyx Studio Black, which is an insane speaker. It's like a $600 value, which you can enter in the raffle for just $100. And listen, it's not just a small amount of money. I know we're asking for a lot here, But again, with the support of the speedrunning community and all you awesome people, I know for a fact we can get there, get all these awesome incentives, all of these milestones, and most importantly, raise money for a great cause. So please do !donate in the chat, as well as head down to the panels if you'd like to and click the donate button there. They'll take you to the Tiltify link, and all donations, again, are going directly to the Able Gamers Foundation. Please help us level the playing field. Daj, you killing it. Keep rocking. You guys got this.
All right, thank you, Dylan. So yeah, be sure to donate so that everyone can enjoy gaming. You know, we obviously want to help disabled people enjoy amazing games such as this one, and a few games that I'm going to shout out at like the end of my run. So fun fact, this mission is called Marathon. Even in Spanish, you can see right there, Marathon. So so that mission we just did is a little arena mission where you are only restricted to the Hunter Mine Launcher, which I will talk about that in a moment. I do want to quickly talk about the final mission on Orxon. You have to run around, destroy a few of those red orbs. Lore-wise, those red orbs are attached to some aircrafts where real people were being held. Well, not real people, but you know, like viewers of a in-universe television show were being held. So we had to free them because Orxon's a pretty toxic planet. So okay, I think he's getting stage fright again. So let's go encourage him right now. Let's encourage him with a controlled shock, sort of Five Nights at Freddy's reference. So the Hunter Mine Launcher, apart from being a very powerful weapon, is also good to clip through walls at any moment, which we'll use to clip through barriers, go through out of bounds, which we just call mine clips. You know, every Ratchet and Clank game, you know, has a way of clipping. You know, Ratchet 2 and 3 have turrets, Ratchet 1 and 2 have the decoy glove, and this game has the mine launcher. So this is the Valix belt. The Valix belt is pretty neat.
It's the best planet.
Yeah, the Valix belt, apart from Kronos, is like definitely top 3 levels in the run for me. So first mission, Lost and Found. We're just gonna have this dropship aim my way and charge into its missiles. And we just go right to the end, all the way over there. So, we're here to reach a hover ship, but you don't actually use the hover ship until the next mission. However, to swag out, I'm going to have my bot turn this bolt crank, and I'm going to clip into this wall and use the hover ship anyways. And I just, yeah, swag. That's the cool hover ship that you're going to see me pilot for the next minute. So, Space Ace. So there's a few different vehicles in this game. They don't play too much of a part in the speed run. So this is like the first one that we've used in this run, not including the Landstalker because we skip it. So, you know, the hover ship, you just kind of, well, you fly around and you shoot your enemies. There's a hover bike, which is really fast, and there's the Puma, which we use for like 20 seconds, I want to say. And it's just to get from one point to another. We don't even use it for the entirety of the mission where it's given to us. You did see it on Planet Serathos, but we instantly left it. And then there's the Landstalker, which is the most infamous one. It does move slow, but it's pretty powerful. But you really got to master its mechanics if you want to be good at using it. So yeah. Again, this is a little ship mission. You just fly around, you shoot enemies. So the next two missions. The next mission, this like area that you see right in front of me, takes place right there. We're gonna be clipping through some barriers so that we can skip having to hack some of those orbs. We're gonna be a little more optimal because I only want the best gameplay on USC right now. So we're going to be doing these facing forward, and this is really swag if you're familiar with the game. First try. And so the next mission that takes place after this is going to be another air swing, and it's going to be the longest air swing in the game, so I'm just... it's going to be a little funny how just how long it takes, in my opinion. I kind of just sit there chilling for a while, so...
It's going to look sick, though.
Yeah, I need to focus on this one. So, 1, 2, 3. So the reason I take additional damage is because there is a little timer on how long Ratchet can air swing for, and getting hit by an enemy additional times will increase that timer. So just to be safe, I make sure to get hit an additional 3 times so that I can air swing long enough to make it to the end of the level, which I did. So swap to the flail. Now this is the Leviathan flail. This is a pretty sick weapon. Look at it, it's menacing. We use it for a bit of tech.
We didn't even talk about it, did we?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it. There's just so much to talk about in the game. You know, it's just kind of hard to remember everything. Do you want to explain what the flail does casually? I'll explain the tech.
I was gonna say earlier that you're talking about weapons and whatnot. There's 10 weapons in this game, and I think we use all of them.
We do, actually.
There's 1 or 2 that we only see like once or twice, but like the rest we see like pretty often. We already mentioned mind clipping. You've seen he's using the supernova. That's like the big like hammer of dawn cannon.
Yeah.
And the flail, you know, on top of just being the most fun weapon in the series to use, on top of being OP, it's also pretty good for movement. You can cancel the flail's animation and use it to launch over gaps, which we've seen a couple times already, which is why I'm surprised we haven't mentioned this yet. But
Yeah, we also use it, so if I swing the flail and I press the quick select button, it'll cancel the flail animation. Oh yeah, by the way, I have to chase 6 drones on a bike, but instead I'm just gonna get into very specific positions and shoot at them with this rocket launcher. Let's see if I can get this second shot. First try, nice. Easy. Yeah, we even use the hollow shield, albeit it's not necessarily required, but it's very useful. The hollow shield being a weapon that places out little shields that you can use to protect yourself. Yeah, so the flail, if you press the quick select button, it cancels the animation, and we can preserve that charge boot momentum into jumps. But you can also press the button to swing your wrench, and we kind of use that to redirect ourselves. It's not used very often in the run, and most runners don't even know it exists. Ooh, I almost made it up there. There was a little proxy I could do off that turret. Proxy being a thing that many PlayStation games use to refer to anything that gives you height. If you run Sly Cooper, Jak 3, Spyro, or any Ratchet game, you do, you know, you will probably have heard of this term. And I see that Celador in chat has something to ask, so ask away. Alright. So let's see, what else about the flail? Oh yeah, so this isn't necessarily about the flail, but while we're talking about preserving charge boot momentum, sometimes when I'm doing charges, you'll see that I open my quick select without selecting a weapon. And this is deliberate, because for some reason, opening the quick select, specifically with triangle, not with R2. Right now I'm using R2 to use the quick select, but in some cases I'll be using triangle, like this. That also preserves the charge boot momentum. If I wasn't using it, I'd just be doing, you know, it'd be a little slower. It's like maybe half a second to a second slower. So we call these end lag cancels. If you're familiar with the multiplayer community of this game, you might know it as a triangle jump. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite piece of movement tech in the game. It's just fun to mess around with. You know, whenever I lose a run, you know, I'll usually like spend a minute or two just kind of messing around with end lag cancels. Swing, because I did it like I kind of went over this like pocket of air, and thus I made it like a falling neutral wrench swing. The charge boot tech is called neutral tech, so there's a ton of names for different tricks. We won't go into all of them, but you know, just keep in mind that I saved like half a second. So this is Murphy's Law. In this mission, we are forced to use different weapons. The weapons will cycle, but it's not RNG which weapons we get. We know which weapons we're going to get at what time. I know that the weapon I get after this is going to be the dual raptors. So, and now for the funny mission.
My favorite mission.
This is airdrop, so I'm not gonna lie, the nerves are kind of kicking in right now, guys. I don't think I can do this mission. This mission's a little bit tricky. So if I just do this, and I do this, and I come over here, and I put down the controller, and I just kind of lay back and relax a little bit. I'm gonna stretch a little bit. Yeah, if we have time for donations, because this is a 2-minute auto scroller. Shemp, Dylan, you guys got anything? I think the hosts are sleeping, so I'll just.
They're in awe of this insane
Bear
gameplay.
with.
Oh,
I had to unmute there. Took a
Okay.
second. I accidentally clicked the wrong name 4 times, and almost muted you for some reason, Sag. Don't mind me. So TLDR, just to remind you all what we're here for. We are here for the Able Gamers Foundation. Really quick, let me check this. And we are looking to, generally speaking, just even the playing field in gaming as much as we can by raising money for this wonderful foundation that creates gaming apparatuses, different accessible ways of controlling. Think about all the different accessible ways that you can play things like The Last of Us or other games like that. They are funding the creation and production of things like that, both from a dev standpoint and also from a consumer standpoint with, again, custom controllers as well. And that is what Able Gamers is all about. So what we're doing in our mission here today, tomorrow, and potentially on day 4 if we hit that milestone, is we're trying to raise as much money as humanly possible to ensure that everybody gets the game with their friends. By doing this, we combat the pandemic that is social isolation. And listen, let's just be blunt here, boys. We all like playing games with our friends. And if you are not able to play games
Big
with your
fan.
friends, typically not the most fun time. You know, we all enjoy our single-player games. We love speedrun, right? But we enjoy speedrunning because we're able to talk to each other, we're able to communicate with each other, and we're able to, again, play on the same playing field as much as we can. So again, in the pursuit of making the hobby of gaming as accessible as possible, please, 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 please do ! donate in chat or check out the donate panel down below. And by doing that, by sharing it around, you are doing your part in helping make gaming better. Keep rocking, Sag. Keep rocking, Marathon. You guys are killing it. I am enjoying Deadlocked. I will tell you that much.
all right. Thank you, Dylan. Very he's got a lot of charisma. Don't tell him I said that.
He does.
So yeah, we just
I'll tell him
defeated.
I said that.
We just defeated our 3rd boss, Eviscerator. In this game, there's a group of 4 of the boss battles, which include Shell Shock, as well as that green dude that you saw after the mission called Marathon. That bug thing you saw, and then 4th boss battle. The lore in this game is that there's a group of enemies called the Exterminators, who are like the biggest, deadliest gladiators ever, and we kind of take them out in like 5 seconds. So we're gonna go on to the 4th one, the most notable of all, Ace Hardlight. So, ooh, let's see what big shot this guy's about. This is Planet Stygia. So this first mission is where you see the Landstalker. So there's a lot of enemies, and even on the easiest difficulty, due to the high amounts of enemies placed around the level, we always run the risk of having the Landstalker's health depleted, and it's not like we can just escape the Landstalker. The game doesn't allow us to get out, and we have not found a way of doing the Landstalker skip from Catacomb on this mission. And even then, there's a chance that we wouldn't. Yeah, there's a chance we wouldn't actually be able to finish the mission because we had to destroy those orange jammers. Almost whiffed some movement there. So yeah, we kind of just have to take it on like the old-fashioned way, and so I made it through just fine. Fun fact: in the 2023 Ratchet and Clank Relay, there was a moment where I was on pretty much no health left, and I was just kind of dodging around the enemy in the Landstalker, and I clutched it out. So yeah, this is the 3rd mission. This is yet another time we're gonna see the hover ship. So in this mission, the bots are going to be hacking these orbs, and we want them to kind of hack them in different directions to cover more ground, and it's a little faster. So if I pull this off correctly, I'll know if I pull it off correctly. I pulled it off correctly. So once I take out these enemies, I'll be able to chill in the ship for a little bit. Fun fact, this is the only mission where you're able to get out of the ship, but you have to be close to the ground to do it. And then the 4th mission is going to be just a quick little arena fight. It's going to be the first appearance of the B11 Vaporizer, this little grenade launcher right here. Well, I guess it's not the first appearance anymore. So, thank you to everyone who's wishing me GL, by the way. I mentioned a few names in chat. There's going to be a few more names I mentioned. My lovely romantic partner Yukito's BF is in chat, cheering me on. This is the one use of the B11 Vaporizer right now. which I use to take out those enemies from a farther distance. And yeah, that's Stygia, so easy. Meraxis. This planet's pretty fun. It's a pretty short and self-contained planet. I just golded Stygia, by the way. My sobs are now 39.29, which is really surreal to see. I think at the start of the year my sobs were a 42.07. I ran a little bit of any percent, and then in February or March, a runner named Abyss Toaster had beaten my time in this category, and I thought, you know what? I have a 44.36. I want better. So I came back and I lowered my PB by several minutes through the use of better execution, better movement. I kind of realized that I kind of just got like upgraded, like I just upgraded overnight, you know. Playing a lot of the ILs in this game as really just, you know. And yeah, shoutouts to Abyss Toaster. He's in chat right now. He's a Danish runner of the game. I remember I first found out about him like when he first started running back in like May or April of 2023, and I thought like, you know, I have to watch this guy. And he ended up becoming a really good runner of the game. You know, when it comes to speed running, you know, a lot of people like to take it casually, you know, take it at their own pace, which is perfectly fine. I do the same with other games. Shout out to Emerald in the chat, I guess.
We love Emerald.
Yeah, but Abyss went on to become one of the better runners of the game, you know, getting really good times, you know, really understanding this game. So yeah, shout outs to him for being the reason I came back to this game back in February. That mine clip that you just saw me do, a lot of people, it's notorious amongst a lot of runners for being pretty difficult to pull off. I have it on lock though, and I even did it facing forwards just to flex.
I would say the hardest one in the whole run, but you know,
I would not say that, because there's actually going to be a mine clip on the final level. That's going to be really important to
Oh yeah, yeah, those ones are kind of hard too.
So this is the Liberator tournament. This is where we're going to fight Ace Hardlight after 2 quick little arena missions. So this first arena mission is similar to Murphy's Law, where the weapons are cycling. For the first 2 rounds, we'll be using the Silencer, which is this really cool rocket launcher. Shoots 3 rockets, covers a wide range, super powerful. And then the third and fourth round will be the B11 Vaporizer. Then we're going to have another arena mission. So yeah, I guess a little bit about myself, because, you know, why not? So I currently want a sub 41 time in this category, and I'm at a 41.08, so should be easy, right? And once that's over with, this is actually going to be my last Ratchet & Clank speedrun grind of the year. It's not going to be my last time streaming, but this will be the last time I seriously run Ratchet until 2025. I am very grateful for everything this series has given me. Ratchet 1, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, and of course Deadlocked. They're all amazing speed games. They all are so unique and yet so similar to each other. If you like one game, you're probably going to like another. But, you know, there's other things in life that I also want to focus on. Not just in real life, you know, I want to focus on my partner, you know, and school and whatnot, but also other speed games. So, as you remember on the title card, I run other franchises. I run God of War. I used to run Jak and Daxter a few years ago. I run Spyro. So, if you guys decide to check out my stream, or, you know, you just want to talk, or you're curious what's next for me after I get a really good time in this game, you're going to be seeing runs of Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, as well as CTR, that game, CTR. Mwah. You know, Crash Bandicoot games, masterpieces. God of War games are also masterpieces. I want to be running the first game as well as the PSP games. I'm going to be running some other games. I'm going to be doing a little bit of Sly Cooper. This is Ace Hardlight, by the way. He thinks he's such a tough afterwards. So yeah, so shout out to this series, but also shout out to a lot of the amazing PlayStation games for being just really great games to speedrun. It's really nice to just run a variety of games, get to know a lot of people. By the way, this is the last air swing in the game, so for all the air swingers, Oh, crud. I forgot to practice a specific strat that I know my friend would have wanted to see. I'm going to go for it anyways, and if we don't get it, that's perfectly fine.
I believe.
Yeah, so what I'm about to do is called Talented Clip, found by my friend Scary, who I mentioned earlier. I don't entirely know how to set this up. Oh, okay. And then... oof. Oh, okay, that's fine. I had the wrong charge angle there, so that's perfectly fine. We'll just do this level normally. So, as I was saying, yeah, shoutouts to this series, but also shoutouts to the PlayStation Nation. You know, if you ever want to check out runs of like God of War, Crash, Spyro, Sly, or even smaller games like Croc, Ridge Racer, you know, I highly suggest you check those out.
Love the nation.
So now you're
And
probably...
speaking of PlayStation Nation, it does look like we got a donation from one of the community members of the PlayStation Nation. We have Blazing Kitsune Ella, and she says, "It's your turn, quote brackets, for charity, smile." And that was $15, and they put it towards Dylan getting splattered with the face. Thank you, God, someone's on my side. Okay, continue.
As I was saying, this level Ghost Station has a lot of the coolest movement in the game. It is all stuff that you've seen before. You know, the first mission, you had the whole end of the level is at the start, as well as some hyper stacks. You had the air swing, you had some mine clips, and now this level is just the ship mission. This one is pretty fun. You have to go around and destroy these green boxes, as well as destroy some turrets. I like this ship mission a lot. Like the other ones that you saw, you know, they're fine. I don't really have an opinion on them, I just play them. But this one's actually pretty fun to practice. There's an IL leaderboard for this entire game, since there's 89 individual missions, some of those being optional ones. And the IL strats are actually a little bit different to the ones you'll see in the full game. So if you ever have a chance, go on speedrun.com, Ratchet Deadlocked, and click on the tab that says full game board and swap to level leaderboard if you want to see some, if you want to get a quick 30 seconds of dopamine. So, oh, wait, I have to show the Tom and Jerry game. Wait, okay. We have one final loading screen after this. I want to show this Tom and Jerry game. I got this recently, and it's actually pretty fun. It's a very simple game, but it's actually a banger. Tom and Jerry in House Trap. If you guys ever get the chance to like try it out, if you guys need a quick 5 minutes of fun, it's actually pretty good. So this is the Dreadzone interior. You want to talk about this first mission? Assuming you know how it works. Mr. Man.
This is definitely the hardest area of the whole run. By the way, the area we were just at, Ghost Station, that's where you go straight to after qualification if you do load cancel.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
And yeah. Control level is this giant like multi-part labyrinth. There's an East Gen, a West Gen, and then a central core. And the whole area, you're just going out of bounds, trying to beeline straight to the final room, and there's a lot of mind clipping, a lot of just weird like falling through walls and hyper stacking, and there's a lot going on.
By the way, this mine clip is the most difficult one in the game, but I'm going to try and pull it off because we only want the best at USC. So I need a full concentration right now. Okay, didn't get it that time. Let's set it up again, and let's try again. If I don't get this after 3 tries, we'll just go the old way. Got it. Nice. So yeah, that mine clip, the reason it's difficult is because if you try and go like... So we do have some out of bounds, but usually those are accessible and like, you know, there's kind of a loophole for this mechanic I'm about to explain, where if you actually go out of bounds, the game instantly kills Ratchet, which is some kind of like soft lock prevention mechanism. You know, we don't want the player going out of bounds, so let's just make sure they instantly die if they go out of bounds. But there's kind of a way to cheese that specific slope so that Ratchet can easily clip out of bounds, like true out of bounds, without dying. And the setup is a bit difficult because sometimes you just won't get through or you'll die. So we got the mine clip because, yeah, it's a little bit difficult. If you're new to this game, you know, I wouldn't really suggest going for it at first, but, you know, I went for it because, like I said, at USC, you only need the best gameplay here. We only provide absolute top tier only the best at USC, and I had to provide for the thousands of fans watching right now. So yeah, this is Central Core. I did a little thing where I flail canceled, and then I threw the wrench, and I slid up the slope right there, so I could clip through on some of the geometry on the level. We're actually coming up to the end of the run, by the way. This is the final mission, and then we take down Gleeman Vox, the creator of Dread Zone. He kidnaps us at the start of the game, and he forces us into this little game show. And, you know, we've had a fun run, but, you know, all good things must come to an end. So we have to take down Gleeman Vox, and we have to show him that the students kind of become the master here. So we kind of just throw everything we have at him. We can't get him in one cycle. He has to go into the second cycle, where, you know, we're going to shoot at him with the dual Vipers, which is a very poetic way to end the run. End it with the same weapon you started with. And time will be coming right now. 42:56. That was actually 1 second. That's
really
1
good.
second slower than what my PB was back in March. I was at 42:55 at one point. So yeah, 42:56 on my splits. It might be off on the stream. That is Ratchet Deadlocked. That was a pretty good run.
So on our end, it looks like we got about 43 even on our end.
Yeah, I saw that. We can figure out the discrepancies later. So yeah, Marathon Man, any last things you want to say? Because I do have a lot that I want to say, and I do want to get it over with quickly so we don't, you know, push back the schedule.
Right. Let me just go ahead and say, please keep the donations coming. We love to see it, and I know half of y'all, all of y'all, would love to see the 4th day get added. If you like Ratchet speedruns, you know, not to plug myself or anything, but you know, there might be another Ratchet game in the schedule, but only if we get to the 4th day.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say? Because I'll go on my little ramble real quick.
That's all I got. So
Yeah, keep donating, because if you donate, we'll get day 4 of USC. We have 3 days so far, and you know what's better than 3? 4. And on day 4, there's going to be a little role reversal, where Marathon Man here, he's going to be playing the original Ratchet & Clank game, another amazing speed game, and I'm going to be on the commentary. So yeah, I absolutely want to see that happen. I'm already mentally preparing right now, thinking like, alright, he's going to lock in, you're going to give a nice commentary. So some runs I want to shout out real quick. Most of these are going to be my friends or games I like, so I'll be quick with these. The very next run, right after this, Spyro the Dragon by Lumi Laura. As I mentioned earlier, I run Spyro the Dragon, and part of that is because of watching Lumi Laura's streams. So if it wasn't for her, you know, there's a chance I might not currently be running Spyro, you know. So go watch that, like, stick around right now. Later, you're going to have a Spyro 2 race between Derek Lander, Nuke, Bradley. You're going to have Sly Sonic with Sonic Adventure DX. There's going to be Sly 2 and Sly 1 by a few different people. Disruptor, you know. Tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of amazing Crash runs. I absolutely love Crash Bandicoot. It's a amazing series, amazing speed games. My favorite speed game isn't actually this, it's Crash 2. I run No Game Over Abuse, so I would want to see all of you show up. You know, you're going to have Insane Trilogy, Crash Twinsanity, awesome game. Crash 2 and 3, you know, you're going to have the racing games. And then on day 4, you're going to have Croc. You're going to have Croc 2, you know, Sly 1 again. Shemp, right here, one of the hosts, is going to be running Uncharted 2. I got to shout him out, or else, you know, I want to make some joke about not getting in next year, but, you know. And, of course, again, a Ratchet & Clank 1 NG Plus run by Marathon Man. So, yeah. Shoutouts to every community I'm in. Shoutouts to my lovely partner Yukito's BF in chat. Shoutouts to this game for being awesome. If you want to get into speedrunning this game, speedrun.com, join the Discord. I have a tutorial for this category for beginners to get into. Ask questions. DM me on Discord if you want. I'll type my Discord name in the chat right now. There, that's my Discord name. You can DM me on Discord, be like, hey, I want to speedrun this game. Where do I start? I think this was week 22 of the weekly Ricky races. We ran any percent. This game has been really popping off in the last few years. been getting a lot of runners, been getting...
It really has.
Yeah, and you know, I've personally been popping off in this series as well. I'm really happy with this run I just got, so...
All right, so I'm glad you plugged the Ratchet run in day 4, because like genuinely Ratchet 1 runs are insane to watch. Much like this one, but Ratchet 1 runs are super fun. So thank you again for basically you just gave us the perfect segue to all the stuff that we're doing for this marathon. Absolutely, I appreciate that.
To that,
so
I say bye,
like
USC.
they said, next up we're going to be having Lumi Laura with Spyro the Dragon with a trick exhibition showcase.
Indeed.
And while we do that, while we set up for that, go ahead and do ! donate in chat, so that way you can donate for the cause and get a bunch of cool little raffle items and incentives and all kinds of stuff like